Good evening, good evening, good evening. How are you, everybody? How's everything? Okay, you know, I was watching different YouTube videos like always, and then one guy put a comment which is really very interesting, and it was about uh, the brands, about especially about Fujifilm. Now, and what he mentioned about the Fujifilm was like how good the Fujifilm is doing, blah blah blah, and like they are making awesome cameras. But there is one thing which I quickly noticed, and you know, that makes a difference, which is, see, every camera company. Good evening, Atish bhai. How are you? How's everything? I hope everything is fine. Uh, let's see, for every camera company, anywhere, Nikon, Canon, uh, Sony, Fujifilm, Pentax, Panasonic, or Olympus, yeah, like you name it, and whatever the brand out. The success of any camera company is not depends on how many camera bodies they have releases. Actually, it depends on how many lenses they have made for their camera bodies. Any company, when you start growing, you have to grow more over the lenses side rather than the camera side. Unfortunately, uh, look upon the Nikon and Canon legacy. Look over the almost 100 years of experience, what they have done. How many type of lenses they have introduced. They focused more over the lenses rather than the camera bodies. Now this camera pixel war started, which everybody tries to jump in, but in reality, like 10 years ago, everybody was more focusing on the lenses. That makes your brand strong. But when then Sony comes and it basically play dirty. So that's how they play dirty. They bought Minolta, who was lens manufacturing company, who also have the patent for the in-bodies image stabilization. Like, what exactly Sony have done by themselves other than manufacturing sensors? What exactly? Yeah, very good point. See, the L mount for Panasonic, the new full frame S1 and S1R, they're going to have lenses which Hitesh Bhai just said they're going to be right now they have only 3 lenses, but by 2020 they're going to have 42 lenses. See, lenses is a strong foundation. You have 1.4, 1.8, and glasses for your primes, and then you need zoom range is 2.8 or a 4 range. You need all those stuff. Then you need the big guns. You know, Batman, what I mean by big guns? Big guns means 200 2.8, 300 2.8, 400 2.8, 500 f4, 600 f4, 800 5.6. You need those glasses. 600 5.6, 400 3.5 or whatever, 300 f4. You need those big lenses. If you don't have those lenses, you're not going to capture the pro market. Maybe for enthusiastic and beginner level you will, but pro level no. Where the big money is, because the pro gears are obviously expensive. So in order to capture the pro market, you have to develop the pro glasses. Sony just introduces 400 2.8 last year, which is the only big gun they have. Besides this, what is like Sigma manufacturing 300 120 to 300 2.8? What else? So this video is not about hitting Sony. It's more about think logically. If you want to choose any brand, it doesn't matter. Even I am going to curse right now Fujifilm. They're making awesome cameras. But look about the glasses. They don't have much glasses like Nikon and Canon. Look at the legacy of Nikon and Canon. Look how many APS-C sensor lenses they have made, how many full frame lenses they have made, how many zooms and primes they have made at different focal length over the period of time, D type, G type, or FD glass or EOS glass. Man, they have spent decades of making those glasses, and you or me or anybody else thinks that it's easy for any company who come down recently and then going to overcome the giants who are running the business. Yeah, maybe you're gonna say, most probably you're gonna say, well, after 10 years they will be having so many glasses, but to compete with Nikon and Canon. Oh, all right, but look what Nikon and Canon do in next 10 to 20 years. By the time Fuji or Sony is going to catch up Nikon and Canon, by that time Nikon and Canon will have something else. They will have something new. So actually Fujifilm or Sony have to work double in compared to Nikon and Canon, just to compete those or to be equal to that level. So glasses is the main driving force, in my opinion, for making any camera brand successful. If you don't have any glass, forget it. How good your camera gonna be, still not going to cut the market, no matter what. I am big fan of old glasses, and I'm still discovering every single day new glasses from Nikon. Nikon make so many good damn glasses. Over the weekend I used FD glass from Canon 58 1.2. Man, it's so soft all the way. For dreamy, you have to find the right spot to focus it, and then you have to work on the soft side. Like mostly it produces soft images, but you have to be very artistic in order to render the images using that lens. So cut a story short, to make any camera brand successful, you need good glass. Without good glass or range of lenses, and without lenses, no camera company is going to run long. And now if you think that, oh, I have Sony body and Sigma is going to make the lens, no, that's not the case. Why Sony have to depend on Sigma to make glasses for them rather than they make for themselves? It's just like I own the house, but I'm expecting somebody to pay for my rent. How come? It's not possible. Sounds stupid. Was this I'm using Nikon D7500 crop body? Now it's stuck between D750 and Z6. I don't think so. It's okay. Here's the thing for you, question workers. Z6 and D750. First off, D7500 is an amazing camera. It's got the same sensor like D500. I'm using D500, and I did macro photography over the weekend using D500. There was a reason I used crop sensor, not full frame. There was a reason. It's because I want maximum number of pixels for cropping, for macro shots. So if I have to crop, I can crop easily. Secondly, D500 having amazing dynamic range, so I know if I'm having shadows or anything, I still can recover. I was controlling more of the highlights of D500. The D500 only have an issue with highlight clipping. That's the only issue with D500. For the rest, it's super amazing camera. Same goes with the 7500. And now that question about D750 and Z6, This 750 is 4 years old technology. Go with the new one. That's what I suggest. If I have to spend some amount to get 24 megapixel camera. By the way, I was thinking to go for a video today about why 24 megapixel camera. I was thinking to just make specific video 24 megapixel camera. I think we will do it some other time. Walaikum Assalam Aisha, how are you? How's everything? I will make the video tomorrow or the after why 24 megapixel camera, because I have a log in my head I have to write examples and stuff to make you understand why camera company are revolving around 24 megapixel. Why not something else? And why 24 megapixel is a common figure. So about Z6 and D750. D750 4 years old technology, forget it. Go for Z6. That's what I suggest. Simple. Not because of 24 megapixel, because of two things. Z6 having BSI sensor and Z6 having the better SNR phone. That's it. Otherwise, there is no other reason to go for Z6. You will be losing one camera card slot. You will be struggling with AF, sort of. Yeah, for video it's good, but how good it's in terms of focus, everybody knows. For stills, this Z6 is way better. For still photography, Z6 is far better than D75. So D75. Seriously. I hate D750. I hate not because of it's because of the white balance issue, shadow background issue, stuff like that. So I'm not feeling comfortable with it. You're right, Atish bhai. Atish bhai said a very good thing that camera companies should make strategic applications. On your waiting for this. I didn't look at it. I will look into the Instagram story and I will reply. I try to make questions with public to know what's going on and how. So just try to be interactive with the people. That's it. And try to share information, being interactive. That's the only thing. So cut story short about today's topic. Like, in order to make a successful camera company, these companies have to look upon the number of lenses. I used Panasonic a couple of weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and I can tell you, if you have complete range which covers the basic need, you are good to go. You are good to go to do any sort of photography. And I've seen it. I can assure you that Panasonic is really doing a good job. So that is, guys. I hope I made my point very clear, and I'll catch you some other time. Take care and have a very good evening. Bye.